this whole transfer period, the whole summer I've just been chilled because I just know how strong we are. And obviously we've added to that. We're going to touch on that. But yeah, I've been calm, to be fair, bro. Honestly, like I've just been level-headed. I'm not thinking about, are we going to do it again? Are we going to flop? People are going to call us bottlers. They can't. We've done it. We're the champions. We're going in with confidence. We've seen how the team's playing with confidence compared to how we played during the preseason. And I was watching your streams. It was good streams, by the way, because sometimes, bro, the way how you're making content out of some of these games of our preseason. I know someone who does stream. It ain't easy, bro. Because some of those games,
it's not easy at all.
Bro,
it's not easy at all.
Those preseason games, especially like Como was good to watch, obviously, because Fabregas came out, but BVB, i.e. Borussia Dortmund, I was looking like, damn. I weren't taking much from it because for me, when it comes to preseason, the main thing for me is that obviously the players to get through new tactics, i.e. via the manager.
Fitness and all of that.
Fitness, and number 3, please don't get injured. Just please.
Big one, actually.
Please don't get injured. Like, I don't care. Like, just don't get injured, innit? So, yeah, now that we went into the Charity Shield game, it's like a switch, bro. It's like we wasn't playing with that much intensity. Obviously, half the players wasn't playing because it wasn't a strong squad. Obviously, a few players came back, but it's like, wow, okay, cool. This is my Arsenal. My Arsenal's back. Obviously, previously we was watching what we was watching, but it wasn't that high intensity. I was like,
save the best till last, literally.
Yeah,
like you said with the Community Shield, it's like you said, actually there, it's like a switch went off. We're moving the ball well. We're good off the ball. We were ruthless in what we could be against City. Now, as you said, it is pre-season. You can't draw any conclusions, but that is a good marker in my opinion. Like the players look good. There's optimism within the fan base. You kind of said it as well. Like there's going to be twists and turns, and of course we're human. We're going to be nervous or happy depending on the result. But sometimes everything connected to our football club, it can be anxious in it, like, are we going to get over the line? So there's that healthiness to know, like, we're not imposters anymore. We've actually got over the line. How do you feel about the rivals, though, man? Because it is early doors. I do think we've hit that sweet spot in that we don't need much. I don't think we've brought in everything, but we don't need much. We've kind of got our squad. There's a massive rebuild elsewhere. Like, how do you feel about the other rivals and what they've done and who's probably going to be our biggest challenger, etc.? Because some people have Chelsea down to, fight for the title. People going with City. People got Liverpool. You're like myself. You're surrounded by Man United fans. Their optimism is at an all-time high, and they're saying it's an open race.
Listen, I just want to say to the rival fans, you're welcome. Honestly, you're welcome. Now, and the reason why I said that is,
out the league.
Yeah, you're welcome. With that, and also we've given them hope and optimism that they can actually win the league. And it's not even coming from a place of like cockiness. It's the reality. Other teams now, Chelsea, Manchester United, not Liverpool because they've won the league. Chelsea, Manchester United, especially those two big teams, they've seen Arsenal finally get over the line. Obviously, they've been laughing at us for years, and cool, rightfully so. It's the rival things, what they're going to do in it. But they've seen us do it now. So now they're saying, okay, cool. Now it's our time to do it because we can't keep laughing at them. Liverpool's done it. City was dominating. Arsenal's done it. Now they want to be a part of that. And the team that I'm looking at, other than Man City, because I still think Man City's going to be there because when you have man like Haaland, anything's still possible. I don't think they're going to win it, but they will be there. Liverpool, they've still got Isak, they've got Wirtz, not been great, but they've got Szoboszlai, they've still got VVD, Alisson, they've got a spine, so they'll be there. But the team that I'm looking at from an outsider's point of view, it would have to be now. Oh man, it's a toss-up.
Please don't say Spurs.
No. It's Chelsea. But Man United is right. But anything, I would say Chelsea because they play one game a week. That's what's saving them.
And allegedly they were in a title challenge last year until
December. That was
drawing against us.
Yeah, but it's Chelsea because they play one game a week and they've got a good coach. From what we've seen, I don't think he's an elite coach, but he's a good coach. You could get a team playing. We've seen it at Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, had a short spell at Real Madrid, but there's politics within that club anyway. But he's bought well. I think they've bought well as in regarding maturity. I
feel Wells is a good signing. Yeah. Henderson's more for the dressing room and all that kind of stuff.
Lacroix, I rated Lacroix. I was saying on my show that Liverpool should have got someone like Lacroix. Obviously,
Liverpool should have got him and Konza, which we'll get onto.
Yeah,
to be fair.
But, they've brought a level of maturity into their squad. I don't think they've got enough to actually win it, but I don't think Chelsea are like super far off. I think they're probably at least 2 more transfer windows away to probably like giving it a proper go, like the end, like coming to like May, April, May times where they can still be in and around it. But Who knows? But other than that, bro, if I'm being completely honest, I spoke about it just a couple minutes ago. It was Rodri. That was the main thing for me. Elliot Anderson and Rodri can combat against Rice and Bruno Guimaraes because Rodri's there. But now Rodri's gone, I don't see it happening.
They don't come around every week, man.
Nah, they don't. I don't see it happening. Elliot Anderson, as good as he is, bro, you're not. Can you be the one to take the club that has been dominating for 5, 6, 7 years and be that single lone pivot and drive them to a title challenge? Not even win, just a challenge. You're a young man that's come from Nottingham Forest. They spent over 100 million on you, which obviously is going to be spoken about because it's the price tag. It comes with pressure. Declan Rice, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, all the £100 million players come with pressure, and rightfully so. And I just don't think he's got enough. Obviously, I feel like they're going to go get other players in and around him, but that was the main threat for me. And now that Rodri's gone, I just look at them like, nah. So to answer your question, I don't really see that much rivals really troubling us other than Liverpool now, but the outsider, it would have to be Chelsea.
I think our biggest enemy is ourselves, and that's not to say Arsenal are the biggest and baddest. I just feel that's shot us in the foot in previous years where we haven't won the league title. I think every Arsenal fan will get what I mean by that. Some non-Arsenal fans will probably see that as arrogance. I just feel if we learn how to break down low blocks, evolve the tactics, keep people fit, our attackers, I feel they had moments. They never had that level of consistency. If they get that on top of the business we've been doing, then I think we're in good stead. Obviously, I'd love a left winger beyond Zolis. I like what he brings. Honestly, when I look at the rivals, you just don't know because there's obviously going to be a name or a team that goes on a mad run that we don't necessarily know. I actually like the business Man United's done because in previous years they've bought sexy players. It's come to nothing. I don't think any of them are game changers, but their midfield has been revamped. They've brought in 1-2 players. They probably need a left back, and it's more of a case of what can Carrick do in his full season. He's got the midfield ingredients. What can he kind of cook? They've got different kind of profiles. But I do think the optimism at times could be misplaced because he was like the Messiah last year. It's different for Carrick, managing in the Champions League, etc. I think Areola's a good signing for Liverpool, but I think the most games he's ever managed is 48 games. And as you know yourself, tactically, he's got that. But when you're a Liverpool manager, there's all different kind of things. And I agree with what you said. Their attack, if they were all on song, like in an ideal world, like how they look on FIFA, they probably got the best, or quote unquote, the best attack in the league. Unfortunately, though, with them, I know they've made some defensive additions. I still don't really rate the center midfield pairings. Yeah, I'm not really rating it. City, by default, they're still there. I think Enzo's a good coach. I think the fact that he wanted it for time would be there. I think with him, it's more the pressure because you've come under Pep Guardiola. You've been at Chelsea. They're still company linked. As you alluded to there, like you can't replace Rodri. You can only adapt. I don't know how Elliot Anderson and all of these guys, how it makes. Chelsea, I think they throw too much money, and at some point it's going to happen. I just feel in the same way we never got here overnight. You're not going to get there overnight. Like there's a lot of good habits they need to learn. There's a lot of bad habits, but I make you right in that they do have good players. They are playing one game a week. The only team I'm actually going to rule out is Spurs. I know Spurs fans are giddy. They're making signings. They'll probably push for Europe, but you're just not involved. If you put a gun to my head, I'd say City second, but I don't know.
Yeah. But the thing is though, Deludi, you know what's mad there? That Arsenal's progression has been on display for everyone to see and everyone to laugh.
And they've shut it down time after time.
That's what it is, because when 23-22, when Arsenal was nowhere near it, we came fifth and then we came second. And people are going to laugh and banter us, but at the same time, this is a team that was not meant to be there.
That year we jumped up several levels.
Yeah, like as regarding squad depth, new coach, new players, new philosophy, we was not meant to be there. And throughout the years, we've been building. No, obviously that quote, trust the process, and everybody says,
but it's facts though.
It's facts because now we're reaping the rewards when it comes to squad depth. Everybody's talking about Arsenal being the strongest because of the squad depth, and the reason how we've got here is because we've been building throughout the years. So now that we've been building throughout the years, we've been coming second, which is an achievement. Not an achievement because you don't win.
People that understand ball know what you're saying. People that do the banter thing, they go, "Oh, he said it's an achievement to finish second." Like, it's dead.
It's an achievement where we're achieving.
It marks progression.
Yeah, it marks. Yeah, that's the word I'm using. It's not more of an achievement, but we've been showing progression throughout the years, as well as a young team and a young coach. And now we've come first. We're first with a good squad. It's not like we're just first, like, okay, we winged it or something happened, or respect to Mo Salah, but his numbers. We never had, Saka didn't have like a Salah moment. One player won us the league, and now we're still depleted. There's no squad. We've got the squad. The squad won us this league. And that's what I think everyone
Dragged us
else is
over the
lacking.
line.
Yeah, everyone else is lacking that. Where they're still trying to build it, but we're just like at least 2-3 years ahead of them. And that's where it is. And that's the place where we're at. While everyone was laughing, cool, we understood why you lot are laughing, but we could see as Arsenal fans what we're building. And like you said, the ones that there's going to be other rival fans that didn't laugh and they could see, okay, I can see what they're doing here. We can laugh at them because they're not getting over the line this year, but it's inevitable that we was going to get it over the line because you can't have players like Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Saka, Raya, Timber, all in your squad and not win a Premier League. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You just don't knock on a door for so long and don't get one. So yeah, man, I'm actually glad. I'm actually happy that we've actually built a squad like this, man. Because obviously there's still room where we can improve, i.e., our attack. I just don't think our attack's that great, but our defensive midfield is more than good enough to actually carry us over the line. But the attack, I'd love us to see just do a bit more in the attack, man. Honestly.
And I'll make you right because when I get obviously like you said the project's been there under Mikel Arteta. Even the players that like a Kai Havertz or even in recent years Gyökeres, players that don't universally sell us, they've all helped drag us over the line type of thing. And obviously we won the league 22 years. Josh Kroenke was talking Bosi. Berta last summer did a madness. We thought like you said there, we don't really need to go and buy the whole of Sainsbury's. We only need like a bit of milk and a bread sort of thing, like a couple of sides. So I like what Konza does because he gives us more defensive depth. I actually feel I might be exaggerating, but it feels like what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do, where you cherry pick the best of the rest. I think him and Bruno G have that, and they already add to strong areas. I like what Zolis could be, but I don't think he's a level raiser at the point of entry just because he's not got that clout in football, and I don't want to place that on him. So that's my big miss. So that leads me to ask you, like, how do you feel about our Champions League place? Because I'm conflicted because on one hand, year-in-year progression, clearly we got to a final, even whatever people say. But I still think you need that stardust. I know we didn't get Vinicius Jr., but I think you need those kind of players in the Champions League. Like I could go as far as to say I expect to win the Premier League. Champions League, I expect to get to the quarters and semis, and it depending on what we can do type of thing. But like, where does it leave you with it?
Yeah, semi-finals I expect us to get to. Like that is the standard now. Quarterfinals is a minimum. Like quarterfinals is the bare minimum. Regardless of who you get in the semi-finals, it should be a final. So we should be going later into the later rounds of that competition. I agree with what you're saying with regarding Stardust, but it's just all about the route. If we're not going to get another easy route like last year, we're not going to get Bodo Glimt. We're not going to get Sport. We're not, bro. Like we're not going to get that easy route again. That was a one-off. It panned out well for us.
That's why I thought it was our time, bro. Because Barca's gone out. Not saying we couldn't beat Barca, but you get those gifts as a direct consequence of you handling business type of thing, and I can't guarantee. I ain't got a crystal ball in it.
Yeah, and Arsenal fans, we know that we got a gift. Obviously, I could say that we rightfully so deserve to be there because we came top of the group, so we was on the right side of the bracket. We got lucky. It could have been Bayern.
We have shown progression in that, to be fair.
Yeah, of course. But regarding us needing a star, I do agree though. I do agree, and not even just for Arsenal fans. I feel just for the players as well. Just to look around in the dressing room, we'll see that player like, okay, we're 1-0 down or it's 1-1. He can help us. I feel that we got that going that way at the back. Like, okay, cool, that defender or that midfielder is going to not make us concede. Yeah. But going forward, the other side, we've still got players like Havertz, who's a bit clutch. We've got Bukayo Saka, who I'd never doubt. And Solis, we just don't know. And Solis is a gamble. We just, if he gets us 10 assists and 7 goals or 6 goals a season, we'd be.
He looks good, but the jury's still out purely because you just got here in this kind of realm.
Yeah. But we still need a marquee attacker, man. We do. And I just feel like when you come to the Champions League, you just need that. You're going to have it because Bayern, they've got Kane, they've got Elise. PSG, they've got all the wingers in the world. We know about Real Madrid. Man City, obviously, knockout competitions, anything's going to happen. They still got Haaland. You know what I'm saying? Even Liverpool.
Barcelona got Yamal and all of those.
Isak. You know what I'm saying? So even though we got Gyökeres, but we just know there's a lot of flaws in his game, especially when it comes to the Champions League. And I feel like in certain games, we don't play to his strengths, just the way how we play anyway as a team. We're more of like a possession-based team. He's more of in certain games, counter-attacking type of striker.
That's how I feel about a lot of our attackers, broski. I think they're all horses for courses type of thing. Like Odegaard and Eze, you got your pros and cons. Kai and Gyökeres, you got your pros and cons. Martinelli and Madueke, granted, I don't really rate you look like that, but your tools in a toolbox. Saka, it's more of a fitness. And it's like what you're saying, like we've got that security in defense. We do have that in midfield. Goals win games in it, and that's where I'm looking at. And I know it's difficult. I know, you can't necessarily go and buy household names and whatnot. But I think it's become evidently clear we've needed to address that wing for time, bro.
Would
So
you get rid of Gyökeres now if they could? If they said, okay, we could get rid of Gyökeres and bring in someone like a Osimhen, and we'll just go over and get him, would you swap him out?
Yeah, but what is Osimhen gonna give me though? Like, don't get it twisted. I think Osimhen's better than Gyökeres, 100%. Like, I do think he is better than him and Kai. But how much is the jump? And for me, I don't really feel it makes sense to be targeting striker. I want a striker. Like, if you can find an upgrade on Gyökeres and Kai, and they naturally become squad players, and you got that, we got our own Haaland. We're laughing in it, but I just see it as, and Julian Alvarez the caveat because he can play out wide. Like, why add to an area already strong? Like, address the left hand side, because for me to really think believe we're gonna get Osimhen, bro, is I have to see specifically Kai Havertz or Gyökeres move. Like, Marino's here, respectfully, he's a non-factor. I purposely left Gabriel Jesus out because his days are probably numbered. I'm having Osimhen, but I just think it's a shiny new toy. Like, imagine we sign Osimhen, but you've got Kai and Gyökeres. That probably means Kai, you're gonna see him in midfield. I don't think we've helped.
No, swap. Would you say, okay, there's talks about him going Barcelona. I don't think it's gonna happen. Goes Barcelona, and then we get Osimhen. Would you do that deal?
If Gyökeres tells me he wants to cut, I'll let him go, man. But I'm just wary of the fact of whatever I think about Gyökeres, and like you said, playing to his style, sometimes he could do more. At the end of the day, he got 21 goals in all comps, specifically 14 in the league. I don't want that to go out of my side. I do think Osimhen would adapt because he's played in a number of countries, but I think it's a gamble, bro. I genuinely think it's a gamble. I think Kai is better for our system, but I'm more likely to sell Kai purely because I would have Gyökeres, who's just because Kai's a proven goal scorer. Gyökeres, I see what you should be. You should be the rotationary kind of striker. And I would still have Mikel Merino. I like Kai, but I would still have Merino who can kind of do what Kai does.
See, a couple months ago, I was on the same page
I was shot both of them for. Osimhen, I don't know.
See, a couple months ago, I was on the same page as you. I was saying get rid of Kai Havertz and keep Gyökeres. But what I saw from Kai Havertz at the end of the season and what I've seen now, fit Kai Havertz.
We need him. That's why I don't want to sanction his sale either.
Yeah, it's dangerous. He brings in other players other than himself. Like, other than himself scoring.
You wish you could combine both of them, but this is the trap we find ourselves in as Arsenal fans. Like, there's always players we wish we could combine, and then
and Martinelli. If that was one player,
exactly, like
the best winger in the world.
Yeah, exactly. We've got too much of them, bro. We've got way too much of them, and maybe even slightly Marino's our best striker. It's very different when it's 30, 38 games, but
these are
the questions I think needs answering, bro. And I understand how difficult the market is. Like, all right, you tried to get Morgan Rogers. I think we lacked, but we didn't want to match 117. I can hold that. I can be angry at you lot, but I can hold that. All right, cool. Vinicius Jr., I like the ambition shown by the club. I think a lot of fans, if you're upset about that, it's your own fault, because if you saw what Ornstein said in the headline and actually what he said, you wouldn't have got too excited. He said it's all like reliant on him signing a new deal. Now, you know yourself how the Real Madrid stuff goes. People don't want to leave. That's cool. But Cola, 1 minute we're on it, then we're not. I'm not on it for the prices I'm kind of seeing. So then I look to the left and right, bro, and I'm like, what do you really do? And then I look at, obviously, we're not going to be Real Madrid or at this moment PSG, but I believe in learning from people who did it, innit? I think we're doing this Alex Ferguson thing in. We're getting, when Fergie used to get the best of the rest in the Prem, we've done that with Bruno, we've done that with Konza. Where I look at Real Madrid, for example, they missed out on Neymar. They said, all right, anything out of Brazil or South America, full stop, we're never lacking again. They went and got Vinicius before he became a star. So is that the kind of route? Unless you could find like a Mo Salah when he's in Italy and he goes to Liverpool, or you can find Vinny when he's in Brazil. I don't know where we go. Like, I think it's unacceptable to not bring in another left winger in addition to Zolis, in it. But I also am coming down to the thought, and am of the thought of, I don't want to spend peas for no reason's sake. Like, I don't really want to be like this, but it might have to just park it off for a year at the earliest January, see what we can kind of do. Because I mean, I like Ndiaye of Everton, innit? 70 million, I'm not really on it. 130, 140 for Bukola, I'm not really on it. Nico Williams, 77 million plus probably 300 grand. And then, as you know yourself, then if you're not talking about them, then we start getting into those Rashford, those Grealishes, those Rafa Leao conversations. I don't know about you, Maz, but I'm not on that because I think we've got too many of them kind of guys.
Yeah, just keep Martinelli. If we're going to go do all that.
This is what I'm saying.
There was a point where I was like, okay, I don't mind taking Rashford. If it was for a cheap fee, probably the most I'll probably give them is like 30 million. And that was at the beginning of this. That was at the beginning of the window if we wasn't getting like the Bukolas, the Vinnies. I didn't personally think we was ever going to get Vinny, but cool, he was there. Arsenal was willing to do it.
You have hope, naturally, but you can't get too excited.
But now it's getting to the end of the window. I don't want us to rush and go and get Rashford now. It's pointless. Like, you might as well just keep Martinelli.
There's no point. We'll be saying the same conversations about Rashford. Like, him nolling Martinelli is the same kind of talking points, bro. Like, are they going to do it for... I know it's easier said than done, but I want a man that can do it for 25, 30 games. Like, with Rashford and Martinelli and Madueke, we talk about consistency and decision-making, and they're actually good players and have good plus points. I think they're good if they're tools in a toolbox. Like Martinelli, for example, when you just accept him for what he is, if there was like, for example, let's just say Aston Villa away is cagey. We're winning 1-0. They're having chances. They're on top of us. You might draw for a Martinelli just to keep their fullback honest or to help us defensively. That's what I mean about the toolbox. And obviously there's cup games and stuff. I don't look at Martinelli no more and think, oh, 2022, 23, when's the penny going to drop? It might drop. It might happen one day at Arsenal. It might not. You might have to leave full of that. There's only, and this is what I mean about our attack, because I think that's where the uncertainties are. Some people would say Gyökeres is good. No, he's not. We play to his strengths. No, we don't. Kai Havertz the same. Eze actually the same. Odegaard, I think it's more fitness, but he has his question marks. I'm with you in that. I believe in Saka, because I think in the last few years, you're the only guy that's done it. But in the last 2 years, you've been injured. And these are the questions I need answering. Like Max Dowman, we all rate him. But I try not to put too much on Max, because there's going to be games you look mature beyond your years. Exactly. But you're a kid, innit? Like, you did your thing last year. It's very different if I'm asking you to do it for 2-3 times a week, not to mention he's 16, physically growing into his body and all that kind of stuff. So it's a madness.
As well as us bringing in certain players, there's a level of expectation I got on a few players within the squad already this season.
Let us know, man.
Saka, obviously, because of his...
Don't save no one as well.
Nah, no chance. Never. I support Arsenal Football Club, but I don't support Players FC. So I want them to do good for my club. But because I'll be here after them, and I was here way before them. Not way, because man's only 35 still. But yeah, but Bukayo Saka, obviously, if he gets his fitness, I need him to have one of these seasons now. Like, I need him. Obviously, he does. And he hasn't been fit. We all know that. We could see at the World Cup, we could see at the end of the season in his Achilles and his hamstring. But if he could get back to that fitness, I need Bukayo to start hitting at least 15 goals, man. You need to start showing the world and showing the league why you are one of the top wingers in the world that we all know you are. You're that guy. You're still the face of Arsenal Football Club. This is still the Bukayo Saka show, if you want to say that. So he's one player that I'm going to be looking out for this season. I don't think he's going to get much minutes because obviously the midfield's stacked, and I don't think he's going to take over Odegaard's position. But Eze, I think he had a good season last season. Some people's mixed reviews with him, but I think it was very important because he
second half of the season he came into his own. I think he's going to do the left wing thing, if I'm honest, man. That's my hot take. If we don't get him one, bro, Zolis, I think that's your spot to lose. I like what you're doing in preseason, but when I say the jury's still out, it's purely still out because you're not a known entity and you're just at this club. Martinelli, I must admit, I think we're going to sell him. Now, on one hand, Miles, I think surely you don't sell him without sanctioning something coming in. Like, that's how we work. It's a one in, one out thing. But I'm not going to lie, being in Wales and being at the Community Shield, when I got my program and I saw he wasn't in the matchday squad, starting's one thing I thought, because he's a tool in a toolbox, right? I thought, are you the one they're looking to move on? Because come out 1 year, he's going on loan. We don't know what's happening with Nelson, Vieira, and Jesus. They probably are gone, but you look like to be the one to move on. So it's a weird one, man. So that would be my hot take. And I agree with you with Eze. I think Odegaard's got a lot to prove because I think you and Kai are playing for a new contract, and we know how good you are. You did it in the World Cup, and you was amazing on Sunday. Saka, I agree with you. Like, if we win the league, I want the bougie thing. Yeah, no, facts. Like, I want the bougie thing now, Miles. Last year I was on, I don't really care who scores, how we score. Win the league, innit? This year, I want to have my cake and eat it, bro. I want Saka, like, for example, Odegaard's won the assisting. Saka's up there for PFA. Gyökeres and Kai, I know there's Haaland, but for example, they're in the golden boot shouts as well as the clean sheets and stuff. So yeah, who else has got something to prove for you, man? I cut you off, like.
No, that's cool. Eze was one. Obviously, I don't think he's going to get much minutes, but I need to see a bit more from Eze now. I need to just obviously it's your first year at Arsenal, and obviously in new environments can be not intimidating, but it could be. I need to find my feet here.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, and obviously the expectation on him is like, okay, cool. We brought you in one of our attackers to try help us get this over the line, and you did. And now that you're here, you've done it. You can show out a bit more, show a bit more confidence. I want to see a bit more from Eze. As regarding the attack, I think it's just those two. Obviously, you touched on Odegaard already. Obviously, that World Cup, he had a great campaign. I think that World Cup was his preseason. So this is why he's looking so sharp now. Because obviously, at the back end of last season,
His season was just stop, start,
Yeah,
stop, start, stop, start,
start
stop, start.
injuries. I was at the Forest game when he got injured. Stop, start, and he's looking like the Odegaard when he got 15 goals, 22, 23. And if we
He's
can get
looking
that,
fit and confident. And like you said, these
yeah,
men are human. People forget these little psychological factors play a massive part, man.
and obviously when you bring in players like Bruno G, you've got that confidence behind you. Somebody else that can get the ball from deep, because we all know there's been times as Arsenal fans when we're watching our team play and we see Odegaard in the six collecting the ball. It was one of the most frustrating things to, bro. I hated it.
Tone that down a bit less. Get you in the final third, man.
I hated it. It would bypass Zubimendi and Rice, and you see him collecting the ball from Saliba or Gabriel. I'll be like, bro, you're our 10. So now you're there. Who's playing 10?
Because we still got to get the ball from one half to the other still.
Exactly.
And so we're playing against low blocks, which, unpopular opinion, people open up against us, like you saw with City. We'll play all the football in the world. That's more for Arteta to fix still.
Yeah. And we're still going to see that from him, because obviously he always wants to get on the ball. Best players want to get on the ball no matter where they are on the pitch. But I feel that we're going to see that more or less. If we've got someone like Bruno G.
I hope so, man.
Having someone like Bruno G and Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice behind him will help him unlock more GA, get more goals, because he'll be in and around that part of the pitch. So obviously, let's see if he can, if that will pan out for the rest of the season. But other than that, yeah, I just that's it when it comes to attacking wise. When it comes to like expectations, because at the back, I know what they can do.
We got the 2/3 of the pitch on lock, bro. It's just that attack.
It's just the attack.
And we got 121 goals. It's another case of I know we're gonna score, but who's gonna score?
Yeah, who's
it's
gonna
mad.
Score? It's mad. But I'm still, there's a part of me that wants this window to close tomorrow, because I'm still got a 5% about Miles Lewis-Skelly. I don't know, bro.
I think he's cool, man.
I think
he's cool. I just sell him because it can't be a pure profit with him, bro. It don't make sense. That is 70-80 million pound rated man. Like, obviously, Rice and Bruno and Zubi, they're here for the present. That man is the short, medium, and long term of this football club. I hear you, and I do have that little inkling in the back of my mind. But then I look at it, and anything can happen. Granted, but you didn't go to the World Cup, innit? And we never had midfield options. So you had a strong enter last season where big games you've done your business. You've been here in pre-season, and I think you're starting the season. I don't know if Rice is going to start tomorrow against Coventry. Probably will. I don't know if Bruno is. You could argue that. I think Miles is going to be cool, and that's another question, bro. Go on.
Yeah. Miles has to start. It's just that you can't operate as a business to just keep buying and not selling. And we just bought Konza. Somebody is going. Like, we can't just keep the squad. You have to balance the books. It's a business at the end of the day, as well as us being fans. We love our club, but you need to balance the books.
And we've been poor at selling for time.
And somebody's getting sold. Maybe I'm just being a little bit paranoid. I don't think he's gonna go, but I just hope it's just not Miles Lewis-Skelly. That's the one player that we just
them man bring in the peas. If realistically, like Miles Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri, even though Nwaneri stops taking a hit, they'll probably fetch higher fees than a Gabriel Jesus, then a Fabio Vieira, then a Reece Nelson. We're being linked with 3 million. I agree with that. I thought Nwaneri would be the one to go, and that's actually another question before I forget. Yeah. Like, obviously, we know there's a lot of games and whatnot, but like, who do you think is going to be the first choice pivot? Because some people are telling me Miles Lewis-Skelly and Rice and Bruno. Statistically, based off last season, you can say Rice and Zubimendi. I actually feel of the 4, because they're always going to get linked with moves. I think Zubimendi's the one I'm watching, not necessarily Miles Lewis-Skelly, because you might just want to go back to Spain. Like, what do you make of that midfield? Or even, what if Arteta was to say Rice or Zubi, you man are going to be the lone 6. I'm going with a Bruno or MLS at either side. So obviously that impacts an Odegaard or an Eze.
Yeah. Depends on the game, though.
It's mad.
Regarding Coventry, I still think he was going to go with Miles Lewis-Skelly because he's looked sharp, man. He looked sharp against Man City, and he's looked sharp throughout the whole preseason, to be fair. Like you said, he didn't go to the World Cup, so he's come back, he's on full fitness. He didn't have no injuries at the end of the season, and he wants to carry on his momentum from the back end of last season and show the rest of the team.
That, I'm a starter.
I'm a starter. Yeah, he wants to start because he knows he's good enough. I am good enough. I helped Arsenal win the league at the end of the season, and I started in the Champions League final. So that says a lot.
Exactly.
So I still think it's going to be Miles Lewis-Skelly. I think Bruno, and me personally, I would rest Declan Rice. I would rest because
there's not going to be many opportunities to say that, so I wouldn't be against it.
Exactly. I'm not saying that he wouldn't be on the bench. Obviously, definitely, you've got to have him on the bench if need be, but he doesn't need to start against Coventry at home because we saw what we did to Man City against against Man City just the other day with Lewis Skelly, Bruno Guimaraes, and Odegaard. I'll play the same midfield three and then bring Declan Rice off the bench. Or you could bring out Zubimendi or Mikel Moreno, whatever it may be, but I'll keep that same three because they had a good little they had a great synergy, great understanding.
They understood each other's game and that.
Great understanding. So yeah, I'll still keep Miles Lewis Skelly. I wouldn't just drop him. No, I personally wouldn't. But going forward, when we're playing the big dogs and we're going away to the Old Traffords and we're going away to Anfield, there is going to be games where Miles Lewis Skelly you might have to sit down, and I will play Bruno G, Rice, and Odegaard. I think that's our strongest three. But starting the season, I don't want to see Declan Rice yet. I don't want to see him. I think it's too early. Even though he looks fit and ready to go, because you know how these footballers, I'm ready, I'll play. But sometimes you need to save the player from the player. And
exactly.
He doesn't
be a bit cute and clever because there's not going to be too many times. And people see this rest thing and think, oh my God, not play him. If